So I've always had a major flaw within myself throughout my entire life that always defined me as a person. That major flaw in my life is my shyness in public, me being an introvert. As a result, I wasn't really able to talk firsthand to a person, or to any person. I usually wait for them to talk to me first. Can you imagine for someone like me to have this kind of problem in life? You would think I would have something a lot bigger, but no. This problem that I have is something fairly small compared to what most people have in their lives. It may not look like I'm shy in my videos. Well, to be honest, it is a lot more comforting to be talking in front of a camera than a crowd of people in public. I've always been like this since I was a kid. English not being my first language, I kind of had a tough time adjusting. Growing up here in America, I've had my share of rough times. So my severe shyness in public has made me miss some of the normal things a person will do in their young years. Simple things such as going to the senior prom, joining school clubs, and talking to random strangers to befriend them are just some of the things I never got to do growing up. My shyness has restricted me in a lot of things in life. And as a result, I feel that I have missed a huge portion of life itself. It was as if I was born with a mechanism that restricted me to talk in most cases. It was like the mechanism was designed just for me, and only me, no one else. I've worn this device for so long, it has adapted to my daily routines. It has adapted to my personal being pretty much. Of course, the mechanism itself was not always bad. It has kept me out of trouble more times than I can remember. It has prevented me from befriending wrong people that will get me into trouble. By wearing the mechanism, I learned the value of silence as well as speech. By wearing the mechanism, I'm blessed with the ability to think before I befriend someone first. For a person who has high expectations for a lot of people, the device helped me filter out people who purposefully want to stay in my life than the ones who don't. This is all because of me being extremely shy. Who knew being an introvert can grant you certain things that not many people have? Above all, I accept who I am as a person. This flaw that I have in my life, it really depends on how you look upon it as an individual. Of course, in the beginning, I always hated my shyness because I was an ignorant little rat back then. But now that I'm older, I cherish it with all my heart. And I know the meaning of my shyness pretty much. There are moments in my life in which my extreme shyness really adds on to my character and personality. Me not talking a lot in public, especially in my classes, automatically makes me the mysterious one in class that most people would like to meet. It's the beauty of going up to present something in front of the whole entire class, because once I speak to a crowd of people, I have each and every one of their attention. Why? Because a crowd of people will always listen to a kid whom they have never heard speak yet, a shy kid. Of course, if you compare it to someone who chatters too much every single day about pointless things, they wouldn't care a lot what they say in front of the class, because the more they talk, the less they say, right? It's different if you are the quiet one, because people will always be willing to listen to what the shy kid has to say. There's a culture saying in my country, shallow rivers are loud, therefore not as deadly as deep lakes that make no sound, that have the ability to drown. A month ago, my mom told me that her boss told her that I had a very magnificent voice and that I should be an announcer. It's pretty ironic because I don't really talk a lot, and it's small compliments like that that really makes me grateful of the cards that I've been dealt with in life. In some way, my shyness became a guardian to me, a guardian angel, a sentinel. The best part about it is that I have the freedom to know when the device should be worn or taken off. Hey guys, so I'm back with another mask. Hope you all enjoyed that little tidbit video I had going on. This is a really meaningful mask to me because it talks about my shyness. Like I said on the video, it's my main flaw in life. I'm a really shy person, and not to mention I'm introverted. If you don't know what that is, look it up. So this is a really meaningful mask, so let's talk about it real quick. And again, this is a new segment for each and every one of my mask videos. I pretty much show the mask on the armature, so you guys have a fair view of it. So you guys see what it looks like when it's being worn, which you guys just saw a couple minutes ago. And you guys will see it on an armature. And you guys will also see it without an armature, so you guys get to see the inside of the mask, alright? So you guys get a fair view of everything, pretty much. So let's talk about the mask. So this is probably one of the best latex masks I've made and airbrushed. Let me just adjust the exposure real quick. There you go. Okay. So it's been a while since I've made a latex mask, and I don't know, I've been caught up with a lot of silicone masks lately, and I kind of want to take a break from silicone masks. So don't expect silicone masks from me soon, because I'll be working on latex masks. Latex is just a really basic material to work with, but in the end, if you do a great job, it will actually show on your mask. Yeah, so let's talk about Sentinel real quick. So as you can see, I like how I airbrush this. So this is what it looks like with the mouthpiece on, with the barbed wire. Now, a thing or two about the barbed wire. This is not real barbed wire. This is just sculpting wire. So the difference between this wire and your typical industrial wire is that you don't need a fancy, cutter to cut it. You don't need a wire cutter. You can just use scissors and cut it. And not to mention, it's not hard to bend. You can bend it fairly easy. And that's the beauty of sculpting wire. So that's why I tend to use it a lot within my art. So anyways, for the barbed wire, it's not real. Again, it's not sharpened as well, so you guys don't have to worry about it poking you. But it's still pretty, I didn't sharpen it, but since this is wire, please be careful, because you can poke your eye. So this is not sharpened, by the way. So another thing about the barbed wire around the mouthpiece, just letting you guys know, this is not a piece that's permanently attached to the mouthpiece. This is just merely an aesthetic for the mouthpiece. So what I mean by that is you can pretty much take it off. It's nothing special. It's just wire. It's just wire hooked onto any area of the mask, so you can pretty much be flexible with it. Alright, you guys don't have to have it the way I have it right now, all around from the back of the mask to the lock. You guys don't have to do that. You can hook it up anywhere, and I give you guys that freedom. And if you guys don't like the barbed wire, you can throw it away. It doesn't really matter, because it's there just to make the mask a bit more awesome, pretty much. And you also notice that it doesn't match the mouthpiece, because the mouthpiece is it's all rusted and stuff, while the barbed wire is not. And the reason for that is I want the barbed wire to match the lock. So that's it for that. And remember, this is removable. You guys don't have to have it on. But yeah, so this is a 3-piece mask. As you can see, the main mask is obviously right there. I will show you guys what the mask looks like without the mouthpiece in a sec. You got the second piece right there, which is obviously the mouthpiece, and you got the third piece, which is the back piece right there. So that too is an optional piece. You guys don't have to wear that. One thing you guys don't have the freedom to do is the flippable see-through black fabric on the eyes. I'm going to show you guys that later, but it's actually latexed in, so you can't really flip it. As you can see, I got the rivet going on there. And for the rivets, you may think that it's really uncomfortable to wear. It isn't. You can't even tell that the rivet is in front of your eye, because your eye is actually a bit above that. Alright, so the rivet is not going to be a problem. The rivet, again, same thing with the wire. It's only there for aesthetic use. And is it removable? No, it's not. It's permanently there. Alright, it shouldn't come off. Just be careful with it. Alright, so yeah, it really adds on to the mask. It really gives it that nice steampunk kind of style. And then one thing I want to add is the lock right there. See how the lock is not actually locked? That's because I lost the key to it. Alright, so you guys can also take the lock as well, because that's similar to the barbed wire. You don't actually have to have that on the mouthpiece. That's just for it to look cooler, pretty much. Alright, so whoever buys this mask, please note, don't complete the lock. Alright, don't lock the lock, because you can never ever get it out unless if you take scissors and cut that part out, which you don't want to do you? Alright. Oh yeah, I forgot the straps. For the straps, notice how there's Velcro right here on the top strap. That's pretty much to grip the top piece right here, the back piece. If you guys compare this to the original Stigmata had an additional strap set just for the back piece, and that's really it's a hassle to do pretty much. So I came up with the way for the back piece to easily to just come off using just Velcro on the top strap. So that works pretty well. That's what I did there. And notice how I have eyelets now on my reinforced duct tape straps. That's filled with cotton, so it replicates leather. I'm gonna start doing this with mask straps. It just looks really cool. And the reason why I haven't done this before is because my hole puncher is too weak to punch hole through this. So I bought a new tool that allows me to puncture holes on any material I want, pretty much, and it's really, really cool. So it's really handy, and that's how I got that. So I'm gonna start doing that. And also for the back piece, notice how it has that nifty contraption right here. All it is just spring super glued onto this type of wire right here, in which I forgot the name of it was. So you can't really move it because it's super glued, obviously. But yeah, that's the back piece. Is this removable? No, it's not. This is permanently in there. The only things that are removable on this mask is the barbed wire, the lock, and the mouthpiece, and the back piece. Alright, but not this part, not this particular part right here. Alright, so hopefully you guys get that. So now let's talk about something about the mask itself and the design. Notice how it's pretty much a humanistic design, even though Stigmata is not really human. So let's talk about the color real quick. The reason why I made it look like this, the reason why I made it look humanly, is because the meaning of the mask, which is being shy and being an introvert, it's pretty common, believe it or not. It's common. 1 out of 4 people are actually introverted and really shy in public. I'm one of them. So it's a really human problem. It's a really common human problem. So I gave it a human paint job. So do you guys see how I pretty much related the color to the meaning of the mask? So that's pretty much, in a way, telling a story. So you really get that human style to Stigmata. So it really looks like that it's a human that has this torture device on for so long. It just corrupted him, pretty much. That's why he always has it on. And that pretty much symbolizes my shyness in public. I can't really speak to people that much, I will speak. I can talk to you if you ask me a question, but I cannot really talk to you first. Like, you have to do the talking first. So it's a bad habit, but I'm still working on it. Even though I'm almost 21, you gotta learn this social skill for, career stuff. Alright? So that's pretty much how the color goes, and that's the story behind the color. More on the color, notice how the mouthpiece is pretty much it's pretty much old, decayed, and it's starting to build up rust, as you can see. And the reason for that is, again, this is a humanly problem. Not to mention the mouthpiece, like as I said in the video, this thing has been on me ever since I was born. I was always shy. So how do you illustrate that visually? Well, make the mouthpiece look old, as if it was born with the person, and that's what I did. Notice how everything's all old and rusted. Even the bars and spring there are rusted. So that's pretty much me using color to support the idea and concept behind the mask. So that's something I really want to share with you guys. Alright, oh whoops. But yeah, that will be, oh yeah, also again with the color, forgot to mention, notice how there's a light skin tone around the rim of the mouthpiece, and that's pretty much illustrating the fact that this device has been on this person for so long that the mouthpiece begins to corrode with his skin. It's the mouthpiece is starting to become part with his skin. That's what I did there. See how it's like skin tone right here, so it pretty much blends it with the mask. That's pretty much the story behind that. Alright, and also for this part, I didn't quite mention this, did I? This is not removable. Okay, so it can come off pretty easy. So as long as whoever buys this mask, hopefully you guys take care of it so the pieces won't fall out. All right. So now let's get on to the next clip, which I show you guys what the mask looks like without the awesome mouthpiece. Alright guys, so here's Sentinel without the mouthpiece right there. I also took out the barbed wire. So here it is. Here he is without the mouthpiece on, and either way, with or without the mouthpiece, he looks pretty badass. Like I said, I just love latex. I love the many things you can do with latex that you can't do with silicone. So here he is. Check that out. Got the nice detail going on there. I hand painted the crevices on the wrinkles to really give it some contrast on the color. So here he is. Looks awesome. And notice the teeth there. You guys are probably wondering, this is pretty much the main modification on Sentinel. If you guys know, this is an alternate of Stigmata, and Stigmata didn't have teeth, did he? So you guys are probably wondering where the teeth came from. Well, the teeth came from Placebo Skull, if you guys remember that. As you all know, I haven't actually casted Placebo Skull yet, but I will soon for a future alternate. So if you guys don't know what the placebos are, please check out the videos in my channel for that, because I will not explain placebo on this video. Alright? So the teeth is actually modified to fit Stigmata. So I pretty much separately casted the teeth from Placebo Skull, from his plaster mold, and I pretty much applied it here. So it really looks good. So you really get that feeling that, you know, what's under the mouthpiece is not really what you think it is. So it's really cool. I love it. I love this alternate. So let's look at the back piece. Here he is. Also, this is one thing I forgot to mention. When putting on the mouthpiece, it's a bit tricky to put on the mouthpiece because you have these rods going from the back piece. So you guys are gonna have to figure out a way to slip it and pretty much join the velcros underneath the rods. It can be tricky. You don't want to put the velcro over the rods because then it will bend. Alright, so it's just something you have to get used to when putting this mask on. But yeah, that's what it looks like without the mouthpiece. So now let's go to the next clip. Next clip is pretty much me showing you guys the mask without the armature on, without this foam head on. So the benefit of that is that you guys can actually see the mask inside. Alright, so I'm pretty much going to show you guys that. So let's get to it. Alright, so here's the third segment of this whole showing the mask thing up to you guys. So here is the mask inside. So you got the comfort foam right there, and again with the see-through black fabric, as well as the rivet for the eyes. Notice how I'm pushing it back a bit and it's not flipping. That's because it's not flippable. Okay, keep that in mind. The see-through black fabric on this mask is not flippable. Alright, and also going over the rivets on the eyelets to be exact, they're actually latexed in. You know, they're latex around the border, so it shouldn't come off. It really shouldn't come off. Just take care of it and it will not come off. Alright, and so the inside, so you can see the teeth right there. This is how I modify latex masks when it comes to combining two pieces at once. In this case it's the teeth. I pretty much latexed it, you know, so that's how it has that nice layer on it. So that's pretty much for the teeth. Now let's talk about what else is there to talk about. Oh yeah, let's talk about the mouth movement now. The mouth movement is actually fairly different from the way how I used to do it, because I'm using a different type of elastic that's a lot thinner. So the mouth movement is actually pretty amazing, as I demonstrated it on the video that you guys just saw. So here it is. Here's the mouth movement. Pretty cool. Nice and stretchy. So this should work for any person who wears it. And also, if your head is small like mine, you guys can actually get away with the sizing by purchasing a, what do you call that, a beanie or a balaclava, I think that's how you pronounce it. So if you wear that first and then the mask, it will be a tight fit, which is good. So that's pretty much the main mask. There's nothing really else to go for. There's nothing really else to talk about. And also for the straps, forgot about the straps. It's pretty simple. You guys should know how I work when it comes to straps. So this is how you put it on. So this is the positive side of the Velcro meets the negative side of the Velcro on the top strap, and there you go. And here are the Velcro squares or rectangles for the back piece. So all you have to do for the back piece is simply just put it on. That's it. That's all you do. Notice how simple that is. It doesn't require any rivets or anything like that. So that's all you do. And there you go. There's your half-breed mask. So again, if you guys don't know what a half-breed mask is, it's pretty much a latex face mask that has a back piece to it that's removable. So what's the purpose of the back piece? Absolutely nothing. It's for aesthetic use only. So again, you guys don't have to have the back piece on, but it really adds on to the mask. And that's how you put on the back piece. It's quite simple. If you guys don't want it on, then take it off. Alright, that's pretty much how it works. Now let's look over to the mouthpiece. The mouthpiece there's nothing really interesting going on with the mouthpiece other than the fact that it's pretty much a whole separate mask within itself. If you guys want to put it on, again, be careful with the back piece because the rods may interfere, so you guys are gonna have to do some work when putting this on with the back piece already on. So nothing really special. You just have to put it on and bam, that's it. So that's it for Sentinel, guys. Thank you for watching this. I really appreciate it. I really do. Appreciate all the likes, comments, favorites, shares, all the things you guys have been doing these past years. Thank you very much for watching this video. So now let's go over the pricing before I forget. So the price for all of this, for all of Sentinel, is $95. Now the reason why it's a bit of a price increase is because of it having a mouthpiece. If it didn't have a mouthpiece, the price will be the default price in which I usually sell my latex masks, and the price for that is actually only $60. But since Sentinel has a mouthpiece, the price will actually increase to $95. So this alone is actually only $35. But this is not something that you guys are buying separately. This is just one set. Alright, so that's why this whole thing is $95 for those of you who are wondering. Alright, so if you guys are interested in buying this mask, for anyone who wants to own it, that'll be $95, and it will be $15 for US domestic shipping and $65 for international shipping. Alright, just keep that in mind. I only accept PayPal, money order, and cash. So message me if any one of you is interested in purchasing this masterpiece right here. All right. If no one is interested, no loss on me. I swear to you guys, no loss on me. I'll just keep making masks because I love to make them. I love making them for the sake of making masks. All right, not to sell. So that's why, as you all know, it takes me a while to actually complete a mask as well as its video, because I really take my time. So that's how I work. That's my nice and slow and controlled pace when it comes to making art. But anyways, that's Sentinel. Thank you for watching. If you guys have a Twitter, please follow me on Twitter. That'll be twitter.com/evilsaw13. Please like my fan page. I update pretty much frequently. I upload vlogs to my fan page whenever I can, and that'll be facebook.com/Juan Caparas. And also, if you guys haven't known yet, I'm actually in the process of making my own website. I'm pretty far on it. I want to say I'm 45% done with my website, and this is a legit website. This is not something that I use like Wix, .webs. This is a legit website that I created from scratch using some HTML code and design work using Dreamweaver CS6. So it was a bit of coding to do that I had to learn and figure out myself, but I figured it out. So if you guys want to check out my unfinished site, again, this is unfinished, alright? That'll be www.juanfreakshowcaparas.com, and the link for that will be in the description below. Everything will be in the description below, including the mask's symbolism. So yeah, thank you for watching. Holy crap, it's been a while since I made a latex mask, and wow, so expect more latex masks soon. And also, please check out my other videos. I will have more mask videos as time goes by. And I will also have more, short films, stuff like that. Pretty much more art for you guys as time goes on. And thank you for all the support. This is EvoStyle13. I'll see you guys on the next video.